Hi and welcome. So today I want to talk to you about and continue to talk to you about how do I clean up my composition, my final mix. How do I prepare my individual tracks for a final mix? And first I talk to you about the drum channel. How do I clean up my drums? How do I make sure that my drums are cutting through the mix in the way that I prefer, that I want? And then secondly, I have shown to you how do I work with the bass line, how I'm trying to work the kick from the drums with the bass line, not to interfere, trying not to interfere the two together, because they are occupying the same space, the same frequency range. And then I showed you thirdly, I showed you one of the instruments on a synth sound, an arpeggiated synth sound that I was using in this composition, what I have done with it to make it more interesting, a simple synth sound, how I transformed, how I clean up, how I EQ'd, so that really sits well in the composition. And now I thought it's time to take another instrument. So we spoke about the drums, all right. Then we had the bass with the side chaining stuff. And then we had the arpeggiation sound. How did we get from this? No. Where are we? Here. How did we get from this? Right to this. Okay. And then now let's take the next one. So the next one is this. Okay, it's a theme of the composition, the little solo part, and is derived from this instrument, ARP 1994 LN from Synthmaster, and the sound originally is this. I mean, if I let me just see. So it's an arpeggiated synth sound, and again, before anything else, so I open an EQ and I listened, and I see that I did a low cut until 600 hertz, because you see, even though they are on new level of transients and whatnot, you have noise, but if you are leaving it, it will just occupy space, really. So that's really vain. It's shame if you are leaving it, because then in the final mix where you have more instruments, it will just occupy the frequencies. It will be in the detriment of the final mix, right? So I listened and I decided to cut until 600, right? And then in the opposite side, in the high pass, you can leave it 20, but here, no. see? Okay. And generally this is it. Maybe I can. But then the sound is it's too simple. Like, let's listen in the mix. Yeah. So I was thinking, what can I do with it so that it becomes a little bit more interesting. And in the other episodes, I already spoken to you that generally for the reverb and for echo and even for the sidechain, I'm creating auxiliary bus channels. So here we have, I have for the reverb, echo, and for the sidechain. So I can send whatever instruments that I have in the composition, and I can send throughout or route throughout the reverb and the echo auxiliary buses. And this is what I have done with this sound also. Listen. Right? And now I go with the echo. Right? And then I said, okay, but I want to have a little bit even more that solo moment. And then I route it throughout the echo also. So now I have a long tail that the effect is going, so it doesn't stop suddenly, and that gives a little bit of space, of air, of a lot of air, in fact. You see? What is nice, and why I'm telling you, this is interesting. You should try it out if you haven't already. Try to use auxiliary buses for reverb and echo and this kind of stuff, because then this effect, it's a controlled one. I see many people, and I'm doing it from time to time when it needed, that I put reverb or echo on individual tracks. But generally now it's kind of a rule that I imposed, so that I'm creating auxiliary buses, and so there I can really control the reverb. So the reverb is now controlled. It's not, and the other thing is, what is nice with the auxiliary buses, so that to put reverb and echo on auxiliary buses, is that it's more controlled. It's not that chaotic, and then every instrument will have it will be synchronized and have a same controlled environment, if you want environment. So this is why. This is because this one will work nice with this in the same environment. So you will not have the impression that one sound is here with some kind of in his environment, and then the other one is there. And then how do you tie up the two instruments if their acoustic environment is different? But having it the same, you see, it's working in the same dimension. I mean, imagine this like, I don't know, being in an orchestra environment, and all the instruments are in the same environment, are on the same scene, and they are mixing in the same air, and so on and so forth. But if you put I don't know, a violinist in a place, I don't know, the cello in another place, and so on and so forth. So and then each of them will have different reverb, echo, and so on. And when you mix those, it will sound horrible. So this is why I really advise you to try this out. Put the echo and the reverb in an auxiliary effect bus, where you can route or throughout you can route multiple instruments, and you will see how nicely they will fit and work together, like these two, right? I mean, they are in the same chamber, if you want, the same echo and reverb chamber, and that's nice. That's really nice. And well, this is all that I done really with this one, with this theme, solo theme, and it just works fine in the track. Now I haven't put the transient master, but I can. You see, I can open it. Really a stereo effect. Let's see. Nice. Let's hear without. Listen where it sits now. And with transient master. So you see, if you are controlling the transients, it's just so yes, this was really simple. Well, generally, things are really simple if at the composition level we have been careful and we have chosen the right sounds. Then the final mix shouldn't be really problematic, like in this case. So with this solo theme instrument, this is what I have done, and the result is very pleasant anyway for me. I really like how it came along, and the result is what I was wanted and what I was expecting. So I hope this was interesting for you. If you are not doing it already, try this out. So try to. It's very important, even though you can see that here what we had, it was not a lot, but it's important. If you are not using something, then cut it out, because just imagine this is one track, but if you have another 3, 4, 5, and you will leave it, that thing that you see you cannot even hear, well, on third, on the with multiplied 3 times, it will start to become something. Anyway, it takes away the place. Just think about it, that that tunnel is a limited tunnel, and that tunnel is from, I don't know, 30 until 20, or 20 to 20, and you can put inside as much as you can, but at one moment the place is just too crowded. So try to limit the frequencies from different instruments and put just what you need. And then of course it's important to choose instrument with different frequencies, so that's even better if you can do that. And try to use just this, like, you know, EQ, a little bit of transient if it needed, really. compressing, sometimes compressing or limiting. That depends. Sometimes it's enough if you are just limiting, but sometimes you need compressor also. I am trying because these instruments for electronic music are already compressed, and sometimes even on the instruments they put compression. I don't know this one if it has or not. Let me just see: glide, velocity, vibrato, filters, oscillators, this one, EQ. You see, you have already EQ, chorus, and compressor, but this time the compressor is not activated. But sometimes they are putting even compressor, they are activating the compressor, whatnot. So you have to keep in mind, because I have, sometimes people are asking me why I don't even use compressor on a synth track. And I'm saying because the company who built the VST has already implemented the compressor inside of the instrument, so it's enough compressed the sound that is coming out from the VST, from the virtual synthesizer, so you don't have to compress it again. And yeah, try it out. And then the transient master it's cool. I mean, just a little bit. I don't say to exaggerate with the transient masters, but with the transients, just a little bit you can, because they have been already worked in, because we are working in a digital environment, and just we need that. We need to control the transients, and then the results will be quite nice. And as I told you with the buses, try put the reverb and reverb, echo, even distortion, why not, on auxiliary effect buses, and just run throughout them the instruments that you want, so that you keep them in the same environment, and then just think, as I told you, like an orchestral or like an orchestra. The orchestra is in the same place with the entire orchestral instruments, or a band. It will be in the same place. So guitars, drums, whatnot, they all will be in the same environment. They are not in different environments. So thank you for watching, and definitely see you next time. We'll take a listen, and we will see what I have done with the other instruments that I have introduced in this track. So thank you for watching, and definitely see you next time. Bye.